couple of people actually asked this, this whole concept of like letting go of, this is, I guess, more in terms of relationships, friendships, romantic relationships. But before I ask that, my question to all of you is, would you prefer Ferrero Rocher, one of these, or like any chips? So basically sweet, Ferrero Rocher, or savory. And if you don't like Ferrero Rocher, tell me in the chat. I'm so curious. I met somebody who said they did not like Ferrero Rocher. Right? Yeah. Is anyone else shocked by that? Like, oh, was I the only one that's shocked by that? But if, okay. So the question I received was, when someone doesn't choose you, how do you heal the soul, right? And the reason I wanted to bring up the Ferrero and the savory stuff, right, is because as much as I love Ferrero Rocher, I understand that not everybody else does, right? Like this is my preference, and it's not necessarily everybody else's preference, and I need to accept that. And I feel like sometimes when we invest in somebody, and that could be romantically or just as a friend, when we invest with someone, when we invest in someone, we feel confident about ourselves. We think like, all right, well, you know, I have all of these things to offer, right? I am Ferrero Rocher, let's say, right? I am Ferrero Rocher. I love Ferrero Rocher. How could you not love Ferrero Rocher? Right? And you get this moment where you're like, when that person doesn't like Manuel over here prefers savory and spicy, right? If he had a choice between Ferrero Rocher and, I don't know, let's say empanadas or something, right? With some hot sauce. Between those two things, he would probably choose the empanadas. It's not to say that Ferrero Rocher is not amazing, because it is. It's just to say that that's his preference. And I think when we start to look at it that way, we stop devaluing this, right? We stop looking at this and saying, this is not great. We say, this is great. It's just not for that person. But most of the time, what we do is when someone is like, you don't like Ferrero Rocher? Is it bad? Do you think negatively about it? And that's the thing. It's not that they think negatively about it. They just think way more positively about something else. And I feel like when we are able to look at relationships in that way, as just like we have tastes and preferences when it comes to food or the activities that we want to partake in, we also have tastes and preferences when it comes to the people that we associate with, the people that we want as friends, and definitely the people that we want to be romantically intimate with. And it's not to say that someone who doesn't choose us thinks that we are not worth it or that we are not of value. It's just they have a different preference. Kind of like it's rejection, right? When you stop making it personal, when you can say, I am still worth everything. You just don't see that worth. That doesn't make me any less worthy. And you stop making it personal, it becomes a lot easier to walk away from it. It becomes a lot easier to let it go. That's been a challenge for me, for sure, because I definitely struggle with that. My problem is I would project onto the person my preferences. For example, I like Ferrero Rocher. If someone doesn't like Ferrero Rocher, I'm like, what's wrong with you? There's nothing wrong with you for not liking Ferrero Rocher. You just don't like Ferrero Rocher, right? But because I love this so much, I project onto them, and I have to be careful of that. Then the second stage of, again, an error, right, is the convincing. You don't like it? Well, let me show you how great it is. I'm going to prove it to you. How can I prove it to this person? So you just keep on pushing. You keep on trying. You keep on trying to show more and more of yourself. So if I was a Ferrero Rocher, I'm like, look at the packaging. Okay, let me show you what's inside. But they don't care because they don't like sweets. So it doesn't matter how much you reveal about yourself and how amazing you are. And you are. If they prefer savory and spicy and you're Ferrero Rocher, you're not on their top 3 or top 5. I have had to work on that personally, just because it's taken me time to understand that Not everyone wants what I have to offer, and that's okay. It's the same reason we have best friends and acquaintances. Not everyone is our best friend. Not everyone has the quality for that. It's the same reason why we are attracted to certain things like smells or whatever, or colors compared to others. It's not that that is better than another, it's just a preference. And when we stop placing value judgments on ourselves just because someone didn't choose us, and instead just appreciate that they have a different preference, just like we do, they could be a different person and we would be like, yeah, actually, I don't really like you, you know? Oh well, right? Well, what can you do, right? You can't change what your heart wants. You can't change what lightens your eyes, or what makes you salivate, or what lifts your heart. You can't change those things. Those are like instinctive. I'll give you an example. Singapore, durian. I don't know how many people know about durian. Durian is this fruit. Some people swear by it. They're like, oh my God, durian is so great. And other people are like, that thing is disgusting. Some people will smell it and their mouth will water because they're like, oh, I know what that tastes like. I love that taste. I can't wait to have some of it. And other people, nothing. There's no reaction. Ferrero Rocher, if I hear that, I'm like, is that Ferrero Rocher somewhere? Like if I see these somewhere, like my eyes light up. I can't help it. So there are other things that we also naturally react to like that, and physical chemistry is one of those things. How do I heal my soul? I just let my soul know that it's still inside a very worthy person, very worthy mind and heart, and I have all of those things to give. None of that is taken away from me because somebody doesn't choose me. I lose nothing. I don't even lose the person. And that's another important thing to remember. If someone doesn't want to be with you, why would you want to be with them, right? Why would you want to spend your energy? Because I am one of those people. If I'm in a relationship or friendship, whatever, I put a lot into it. It's an effort, it's an investment. I take time out of my day to make something happen with that person. And if that person's not appreciative of it, or if they are not interested in it, they don't choose it, they don't want to invest back, then it's not a loss for me to not have them in my life. I could be saving all that energy and investing into someone else or in myself. Igara said, sponsored by Ferrero Rocher. I am trying to get sponsored by Ferrero Rocher. God damn it. They have not ever even replied to a message of mine. Dasha said, when somebody does not choose you, it hits close to home. I feed myself. I'm being spared of something that is not right for me. Yes, exactly. No need to keep things around that are not building and helping you grow and becoming a better person. Manuel here said, the feelings I feel for a person are mine and I embrace them. People are disappointed by the lack of reciprocation. It would be great, but my feelings are enjoyed by me regardless. And that's beautiful. And that's also important to note because that is a matter of control, right? That is something that you get to decide. It was a lovely, lovely discussion with all of you. I appreciate it as always. Again, if you do have the time to send your feedback, I would appreciate that. Just go to magnagopal.com/feedback and share your thoughts on what you enjoyed about the session. And if there were some questions that you had asked that I didn't get a chance to address, send them, put them in the feedback form, leave them in the comments. And again, of course, if you would like to support, you can just hit subscribe on the YouTube channel or send a donation, PayPal, Venmo, or Zelle, info@magnagopal.com or at magnagopal. And I hope that this year treats you well and everything that happened in 2020 has contributed to a more beautiful, strong, and resilient human being within you that you are now able to share with the rest of the world. And I shall see you all very soon. Bye.